Jesus Christ is running for president in 2020. What are some of the highlights of his campaign? Free healthcare. He'll personally heal you in a matter of seconds. Bible 2. He turned the Great Lakes into wine and threw a lit-ass rally. The USA invades Israel and makes it the 51st state of America to fulfill the natural-born citizen clause for Jesus. Pledges extra money for education in skilled trades such as carpentry. Gives speech how he wants to run the country so well he ends up being bigger than the Beatles. Debates the death penalty and states how much he hates it. Makes it clear the fact it still exists in such a developed nation makes him really cross. Controversially chooses Judas to be his vice president as he's more trustworthy than any politician he's ever met. Among the many scandals that arise during his campaign. 1. Questions about his parentage. 2. Allegations that he is a secret Muslim and attended a madrasa in Egypt as a child. 3. Sinister connections to radical left-wing preacher John the Baptist. 4. Further radicalization during 40-day solo trip to the desert in Palestine. 5. Suspected alcoholism. 6. Free loaves and fishes policy. 7. Anti-rich propaganda recorded during his Sermon on the Mount. 8. Anti-family message. Demands devotion by followers and hatred of father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sisters. Yea. And his own life also. 9. Arrogance. Thinks he walks on water. 10. Arguments against established moral law and order of the Pharisees. 11. Consorting with prostitutes, loose women, and illegal immigrants. 12. Destruction of small money changing businesses employing hundreds of hard-working Jerusalemites. 13. Cannibalism. 14. Involvement in Marxist communes in which all private property was abolished and goods were distributed according to each member's needs. Donald Trump runs on a platform of supporting religious freedom for true Christians against Jesus' socialist Muslim Jewish agenda and wins every state, only losing the District of Columbia. Edit. I totally forgot about the pedophilia allegations. Trump constantly calling him Dirty Sandals Christ and then claiming that his birth certificate was fake. Karen. What is your view on the anti-vaccine movement? Double quote. JC. It's utterly ridiculous and should be abandoned. Get your vaccinations. Double quote. Karen. Damn, the pro-vax movement has really gone far. They even got to you? Sad to be honest. Double quote. He's an Israeli Muslim. Show us your birth certificate. He's not tough on terrorists with his turn the other cheek policy. Losing the evangelical Christian votes to Trump. True virtue is to abandon the twisted values of modern capitalism and to live the life of an ascetic. Devoting yourself to charity and good works. No one votes for him because he is a socialist. America's a Christian nation and we ain't electing no godless commie. If Jesus was running for president in 2020, I'd drop everything and go to church. All who oppose have the water in their bodies instantly turn to wine. Being a non-USA born candidate plus from the Middle East would be even more groundbreaking than him being literally Jesus. He does a fundraising dinner, does his fish and wine trick, but then the vegans and PETA come and protest him. Lots of stones being thrown at each rally he holds when people realize Christ isn't a white man. No way it gets that far without an American birth certificate. Everyone calling him a terrorist and a socialist because he is a Middle Eastern man that wants to feed the poor and care for the sick. Love everyone equally and don't judge people. Double quote. What about gay people? Double quote. Did I stutter? Double quote. No. But did I stutter? Double quote. Flint, Michigan will have undrinkable wine. Highlights from last night's debate. Mr. Christ advocated for the following changes. Plus Medicare for all. Plus a massive expansion of welfare and assistance programs. Plus a 700% increase in income taxes on the top 10% of earners. plus a streamlined immigration and naturalization process. In polls, his support among evangelicals has reached an all-time low this morning, at 17%. He gets called a libtard commie PSSY when he tells folks to love their neighbor and to turn the other cheek. But it all comes to an end when he literally kicks the shitty out of a corrupt lobbyist and a Republican gives him the death sentence. He tells several distinct versions of his story to different people and causes never-ending conflict. He'd be so much of a hippie even the Democrats wouldn't elect him, lol. The opposition throwing bagels at him. I don't know about highlights, but he'd have to run as a Democrat, right? His entire platform is about as far from the religious right that you can get. Being condemned as a communist by Trump. Oh, hang on. Trump would actually have had to read the Bible to work that one out. His name is Bernie Sanders. Learn how to spell for fuck's sake. Edit. I do actually think that Jesus would be a socialist. Alright, so I have really bad news for all of you hardcore Christian Republicans about the way you've been living your life. Double quote. I'm back and I'm not crucifixing around. Double quote. I will give you my corpse part if you vote for me. Giving out holy water bath water to the people. Instead of feeding the multitudes, he tells them to go out and get jobs so they can buy their own damn bread and fish. He's running as a Republican. Jewish presidential candidate having trouble securing the Jewish vote. Find out more at 6. Significantly lower drinking age. Oh hell, there is so much to unpack. Screw it, let's do the weird one. Basically, Christianity becomes an apocalyptic death cult since the second coming is supposed to signal the end of the world. Jesus is elected without even running because neo-Christianity manipulated everything. Some random politically savvy guy is technically in charge and the de facto new pope. Literally no one outside of the U.S. cares because Jesus is off battling Satan or some such mess in Palestine. The world ends an unspecified time later and some people are really butthurt they're not going to heaven. Complete and total separation of church and state. Or he will kick some. Close bracket. And X200B. 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 Republicans wouldn't vote for him because Fox News would call him a socialist. The USA will never run out of wine. He takes a hard stance against nail guns. Step 1. Fix the water in Flint, Michigan. Step 2. Turn it into wine. Step 3. Export. Step 4. Profit. If he loses, he'll still be president after 3 days. Democrats accuse him of being a racist. Republicans accuse him of being a hippie. I'm not sure, but the opposition's highlight of the campaign will be to demand a birth certificate. Dismantling the whole global financial capital infrastructure. Universal healthcare, no more troops overseas, paid family vacation, no more Christian rock believing in global warming, sex before marriage is cool now. Universal basic income, term limits, Wine Wednesdays cabinet now just 12 members. Day drinking isn't illegal anymore, because all water is wine now. Jesus Christ. Complete loser. Would promise the meek the earth just to get elected. Would leave our borders wide open. Sermon on the Mount? Fake news. And you know, a lot of people, not me but a lot of good people are saying he wasn't even born in this country. Crossed the border from Palestine to Egypt and back illegally before coming here with the help of a gang of illegal Palestinian fishermen and carpenters. One of them may have been a prostitute. Remember back when he ran that lame food joint? Was given 5 loaves and was it 2 fish? Gave back food for 5,000 people? Worst deal in history. And you know, He says he can heal the sick with his magic Hazuka hands. Which means he wants to take away your health insurance and your Medicaid. Acts like he can walk on water. Thankfully the beautiful people of insert state here see through his sad, low energy lies. He knows he's not welcome here. You know. If he came riding in on that Democrat donkey, well he'd be in jail. Does insert state here have the death penalty? I swear. I would nail that guy to a big piece of wood. Begins dry humping the American flag.